Hello everyone, this is Gorax and today I'm going to show you few strategies for Rook team against Aschetius, their Season 4 endgame boss. Before we start, let's mention at this stage in the game you should have your Psychic Core maxed out and you should have all of your guild buffs available to you as well. I don't have that on a test server, so it is harder for my heroes to survive and deal proper damage as I'm losing all these extra damage, they'll crit damage, attack speed, accuracy, defense, HP and attack buffs that are quite mandatory. On top of that, depending on the progress on your server, you could have these buffs available to you as well, which will make the boss a little bit easier. Having said all of that, I'm still able to do over 200 million damage with Rook team, but it requires a little bit of tweaking as this boss is not easy. Now, before we continue, let me clarify something. When I was reading the skills of the boss, I couldn't really get the wording on one of the skills, which is the passive. So basically what it does, the boss gains between 2 and 4 stacks depending on the number of debuffs inflicted. What for us, it means that we need to avoid applying debuffs, but in reality, we need to have at least 2 debuffs before the boss casts a skill to only get him to get 2 stacks of it. If he has no debuffs, he will get 4 stacks. If he has 1 debuff, he will get 3 stacks. And if he has 2 debuffs, he will get 2 stacks. However, if we apply 3 debuffs or more, he's still gaining 2 stacks per skill, which means he will max out his passive around 7th minute if we keep it down to 2 stacks per skills. This has been clarified to me by another content creator, Valan. Now, as you could see, I couldn't survive the whole battle. Sometimes I do. Now, the other issue with this boss is you will need to manually fight eventually, because this will desync. The skills will desync because the boss will apply one of the debuffs available to him, which will do recharge speed penalty, healing prohibition, attack penalty, and other buffs. Sadly, with fire and poison, there's not much to avoid getting debuffed. There is only one hero that can do that, which is Garian, but it is only a single target. But also another hero, Reta, can dispel all the debuffs on your heroes, plus grant you defense up to, also apply recharge speed penalty and extend all the debuffs duration, which means she is a really good counter to this boss because she also applies attack penalty and accuracy penalty on top of reducing the damage the boss does. So if you can't survive, this is one way to mitigate that, but I've been using Calavera and I've been using Ogok here. Ogok Immortality really helps here, and Calavera's constant healing keeps our team alive despite her taking the single target damage that will reduce her ultimate points as well. The team is very basic. Another thing that I need to mention is during the test server tests, the Shade of Death set is not working properly because it's not been fixed since it's been fixed on global. So I've been using the Emissary Crown set. Now Rook obviously is using his exclusive artifact. We go Whisk with Poison of the Swamp as we can max that artifact easily thanks to Calavera's battle skill and constant healing as well. And we use Dargo with, which is Remain. We have access to attack aura and resistance. I tried resistance on Calavera to mitigate getting that ultimate energy stolen. It didn't work, so it's better to just forget about that. When it comes to the skill timings, I've tried multiple timings. Seems like Ogok at 25 seconds every 30-second rotation is good enough to cover the boss's 4th and boss's 5th skill. However, there's a slight issue and a little bit of randomness that once that gone and the boss applies healing prohibition to our team and we can't dispel it in time, because both Ogok and Calavera can dispel things, but they are not 100% upkeep on that dispels, and it's quite random as well. If they can't dispel healing prohibition, your heroes might die at later stages to the extra poison, extra fire damage that the boss does when we have debuffs applied, which is this portion here, deals fire damage to them once, additionally deals fire damage to them once. So that's what can kill our heroes. So the idea here is to make sure Calavera cast it at the right time. Okay, I've put her at 20 seconds. There's no chance she's gonna do that because her ultimate will be removed. So the ideal timing is 31. However, I don't know why I have the best results when it's just on 20 seconds. Basically, we can make it auto, right? She's gonna cast it whenever she can at this point, but with a 30-second rotation. And this helps the team to stay alive as long as possible. As you could see, the team is able to do over 200 million and still the boss works the same way. So if we get over 200 million, the damage we do is reduced, but keep in mind you will need to manual cast it eventually because the team just does things because the boss can apply recharge speed penalty on our heroes. So if Dargo has recharge speed penalty but Rook and Whisk don't, that means eventually they will do their ultimates before Dargo and you will lose a lot of damage. And if you think this is the only issue with the Rook team, no, this issue will be for every team that can't block the debuffs, that can't dispel all the debuffs at once, but only one team is not affected by that, which is the Shadow team, but I'll cover this team a little bit later. So tell me what you think about this boss. I believe this boss is quite hard and I hope they will eventually change the way we deal with the bosses. Instead of doing 6 fights a day, we'll do 3, go into 4, 5 and then 6, as it's really overwhelming to create 6 strong teams so early within just 24-hour window where we have to test everything we have. You know, as a content creators, we're lucky to be able to have that before, and you're lucky as well so as you can watch the videos. However, it is really hard to utilize that as your heroes and your equipment is way different than mine. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, please click the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. As always, thank you for watching, stay safe, bye!